Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavahai Tejasvinavadai Namastu Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Questions? Please give 100 out of 100, okay? I'm going to answer. Our exam starts now. You mentioned reaching out yesterday. Even with the good intention, how do you discover how to reach out? Reaching out itself has a good intention. Reaching out means contributing, helping, bringing a comfort in someone's life. That's it. That's a mantra. Yeah. In fact, self is the most comfortable. Even as a basic person, I told in morning, you are very relaxed. Just as a conscious being, you are conscious of everything. And that you are conscious of everything. There is total objectivity. Only when the basic person becomes a desiring person, willing, wishing, etc. comes, which is more than a conscious being, right? A conscious being has a will. But I am saying basic person is just a conscious being. Willing, etc. is of course a privilege. But when it comes, then issue starts. But as a basic person, you are simple, conscious being, naturally objectifying everything. Naturally objectifying your mind, thoughts, objectifying your senses. Naturally, just being conscious, you objectify everything. You are conscious of your thought. Right? No one can say, I am not conscious of my thought. Everyone is conscious of one's thought, what is going on right now, what was there before, etc. You are conscious. You cannot deny it. You are conscious of your senses. That's how someday you go to doctor also, well, thinking that my eyes are not functioning well or something. Ears are not functioning, this, that, etc. properly. So they all are revealed. Please understand this. They all are revealed to you who is conscious. They are objects of consciousness. Right? They are objects of consciousness. Then, object of consciousness definitely, and when they are revealed by you, you are self-revealing. You are self-revealing. The existence of I is proven by what? Existence of I is proven by what?
Ego.
Existence of I is proven by what? Do you think mind proves the existence of I, or I prove the existence of mind? Mind proves. So means when there is no mind, you are not there. That's what Descartes had a problem. That was the problem with Descartes. When he was taking a coffee in some restaurant in Paris, and they taking bowl, Puja Swamiji was given. Puja Swamiji thought maybe for it's a finger ball kind of it. Huge. He was taking coffee and it was over, so she came, who was giving serving. She said, do you want more coffee? And Descartes said, I don't think so. I don't think so. Means even if there is no thinking, I is very much present. Could you follow? I is very much present when the thinking also is not there. So he changed. First he thought, I think, therefore I am. Now he has changed. I don't think so means I is very much present when don't think means thinking is not there. So he changed. By the time he drank coffee, he changed everything. I think therefore I am. Then he said, I am, therefore I think. Even when thinking is not there in deep sleep state, you are not there. No, Swamiji, another I came. No, I sense is not there. You are present, you know. It's your state only. In fact, morning you get up, you said, I had a very good sleep throughout the night. You said, I had a good sleep. Means I was present to have an experience of a good sleep. Thinking was not there, but I was there. Who proves the existence of I? This is how it is. It's a big thing. It's a very big thing. The whole crux of immortality is lying here. Your existence is self-revealing. Then who will prove your non-existence? Who will prove your non-existence? Your existence is revealing, self-revealing, means your existence is not dependent upon any non-existent. Heat of the fire is dependent upon what? Is there a cause for the heat of the fire? Definitely there is a cause for the heat in the water. Right? You find a cause, that is fire. But the fire is hot because fire is hot.
Innate quality.
Nature. You exist because
I am always there.
If I am always there, where is death? Where is death? This Swami comes and makes hot drama, but I am telling you, Natvivaham jatu nasam natvam neve janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Very 12th verse, and Bhagavan began teaching in 11th verse, and the very first verse in fact in teaching. First 11th verse is just saying that these wise people do not grieve for the dead and for the living beings, etc., for the living also. But the real teaching is the 12th verse. Natvevaham jatunas. It's a bombshell. Arjuna, you don't think you were not there before. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha. Where you were not there in the remote past, that was not the case. I was not there in the remote past, that was not the case. Well, we both may be special. I am special, Bhagavan may say. Arjuna, you are my friend, therefore you are also very special. We may be existing since a beginningless time. But what about these people who are standing in this Mahabharata war? Natvam neme janadipaha. Neme janadipaha. Well, they were not there before in the remote past. That's not the case. There is no death, there is no birth. Birth means a non-existent thing comes into being. Right? That's called birth. Birth of a pot means what? The pot which was non-existent before has come into existence. That's how we have a Jataka. Death means what? The thing which is existing or which was existent has become non-existent. That's it. Bhagavan said that is never be the case. Never be the case. You, me, and all these kings were not there before. In the remote past, that's not the case. We will not be there in future, distant future also. That will not be the case. We are going to exist. We were existent before also. Because I am self-existent. Or existence is my nature. If existence is my nature, how can I become non-existent? If fire is by nature hot, then how can it become cold? How can it become cold? Suddenly I had a cold fire. Special. I have a fire which is cold. Or sometimes fire becomes hot and suddenly the milk is not boiling now. When you see the fire is too cold. My God, that will never happen. Heat goes away, fire goes away. If heat is not there, fire is not there. That's it. light is not the nature of the fire. Because sometimes a hot plate, or let's say even a hot vessel, it's not bright, but still it is hot. Fire is there. So, heat is the fire, nature of the fire. So anyway, from reaching out to where we have gone. So even with the good intention, how do you discover how to reach out? Okay, there are ways, and reaching out means not you have to join some organization. We are serving others, etc. You need not. You need not. Wherever you are in that setup, whatever help you can do, you can do. In fact, most of the people need nowadays a listener. It's a big help. Swamis are successful because Swami keeps listening. Everyone wants a listener, but generally, when you tell others your story, think that the other person will listen, but he will stop you in between. There is no stuff in your story. Listen my story, and that's it. And he will take most of your time. Listener becomes talker immediately. Swami has nothing to do, so we just keep doing like this. It's a big service. I would say it's a niruyajna. Serving to the human being is this: listen to the person. There's a compassion, real compassion in your heart, which even person can feel from your face, that you are really having a sympathy for the person. Need it, honestly. When I see this American society, I really feel here everything is there, but this is not there. People are very unhappy because there's a loneliness. Everyone feels that he or she is not understood. He or she is not being taken care of. He or she is not listened to. Yeah. Society is like that. So, you can reach out by Panchmahayajnas also. Panchmahayajnas are, I think we should talk about it, but okay. Then other questions, let me first answer, then I will talk about it. Swami, you said that there is 6 free will available. There is 6 free will available. But however, there is free will available, should be, but however, grace is required for success. Is this really? Is this really free will available? Yeah, free will is there. You earn grace. Is your earning because of your free will? Right? Because of free will, you earn grace. Grace is not a packet distributed by the God, I told you yesterday. It's on your own karma phala, result of a good action. If you have done good actions, there is a free will. Based on that, you did a good action. So there is a grace is earned, literally, and and we feel that Bhagavan, is ready to help. That's true, but it's little hard to earn the grace. You have to keep praying. That's there. Grace is available, but it takes some time. But we feel that I will just go and pray. Give me this, and as I came out, the thing is available. No, that could be an accident, but it's not like that. And we see people praying, keep praying with the Shraddha, etc. And that will be answered also, I told you yesterday. So, but there is a free will. One has to earn the grace. And that earning grace is only for one objective, to ward off the obstacles, which are not sin, which are in fact, which you cannot even predict also. Such obstacles just come on your way. So basically, to ward off all obstacles, unseen obstacles. What are the sadhanas to do to detach mind from soul? No. See, generally, soul word we use for the this conscious being is individual. Generally, it is nothing but a mind. It's a subtle body. Consciousness along with the subtle body, or a conscious subtle body, is a soul. That's it. Because soul comes with soul goes to heaven and this and that, right? Soul enters into another body, we are going to say. So that is this. So generally we don't use word soul for the self, the Atma. But if we want to distinguish between the self, the Atma and this soul, this is the difference. Atma means the consciousness, and the consciousness along with the one upadhi called subtle body, which is of course mithya, while the consciousness, the Atma gains a status called soul, jiva, the individual. And consciousness definitely with the subtle body gets illumined in the consciousness, at the same time subtle body forms in Chidabhasa also. Two things are there. Mind gets illumined in light of consciousness, and at the same time mind forms a Chidabhasa. The consciousness gets reflected, Atma gets reflected even in the mind. And that's how mind becomes conscious, and that is we call ego also. But this thing, basically, ego, etc., when we use this word, when already the soul enters into the body, then we say jiva enters into the body, soul means jiva enters into the body, and then it functions as a ego, agent of action. Because all activities are happening, at every level activities are happening. The legs are functioning, eyes are functioning, hands are functioning, pranas are doing all job. If all activities are happening, then what is the agent? Who is doing? So Ishvara has made this arrangement. Any activity happens, any action happens, you will immediately ask, who is doing? The first question will be asked in the Karaka is this, Karta. Yeah. And therefore, it's nothing but this. The mind which is conscious has this aham, I thought, whose object is whole mind. That becomes a karta, doer. So and that owns up everything. If I see, that karta says, I am a seer. Ears hear, karta says, I am a hearer. Activity is done at the sensory level, but he owns. Mind alone owns up. That's how we have a mind, manaha chittam buddhi ahankara. And at the time of death, that consciousness, of course, this subtle body only, let's say, which is conscious, goes away, which is endowed with this Chidabhasa, leaves this body, enters into new body, becomes doer, etc. He is already doer, but then manifest, doership manifest, experience, enjoyership manifest. Can you advise easy meditation process? This is not easy. Only what we did is not easy. Okay, then only we have, I know, is a relaxation meditation. But I generally don't I don't guide for the relaxation because people sleep and snore also. And therefore, and that relaxation meditation is for just relaxing. You don't get any insight into meditation. Meditation is something when you start relating mentally to Ishvara, that is meditation. And for that purpose, you have to prepare your mind, unload all the people, etc., which I told in the morning, and then you relate to Ishvara. So once you arrive at the basic person, the meditator, and then relate, you visualize an altar and start japa or whatever, and do even mental puja, etc. also. That is meditation. So that is to be done. So it should be, you will be familiar slowly with this kind of meditation, and I advise that this type of meditation only we should do. Not just relaxation meditations, a lot of people are offering. Many types of relaxations are there. And that's really not a meditation, honestly. It's just when you are too much in stress, etc., and if you do, that's fine. But really, if you want to gain a benefit, real benefit of the meditation is relating to Lord and visualizing altar, doing japa, etc. gives you a tremendous focusing capacity. You start doing, you will tell me, you will call me and say, Swami, yes, you are right. You will start gaining focusing capacity. It may take some time, yeah, but you will get. That you understand when you start, right now, suppose you are studying something, your mind goes away here and there. If you start doing this kind of japa, etc., and after 15 days, 1 month, you see that now your mind is totally focused. Whatever you are doing, your mind remains with you. Focusing capacity means your mind is available to you, which is called a resolution of mind also, shamaha in a sadhan chatusha simpati. Availability of the mind. Yeah. Because it is an instrument, inner instrument, antakarana. And being an instrument, it should be available to you. Generally, it is not available. It's wandering. Now it is available. Rest of the time, let it move. Yes. Mind has to move. Yeah, it's a healthy mind. Only when you need to focus, and it should help in thinking, etc. That's it. Where do you consider yourself to be on this life journey and why? Before we attend tomorrow's class, let us understand it. I would say only one thing. If you commit to this knowledge yourself, and your commitment to the knowledge definitely pays off. That much I would say. Swamiji, this statement looks, it's quite a different type of an experience. Not when you were studying, I'm sure when you were studying in a universities, etc., but certain subject matter which is not understood by you, what you are doing, you pay more attention to that. And in course of time, you find that it becomes clear. So same way here, certain things are not clear. Here also it's a clarity. Knowledge one gains, clarity in knowledge grows. Knowledge one gains. Even I tell you, most of us, all of us, almost, come and if I tell you talk about something about the self, you will talk. I'm sure. Atma is Satchidananda, you may talk very beautifully. Knowledge is there. But then to tell I am Satchidananda, that is clarity, perhaps, it may not be there. That's possible. So knowledge one gains, but clarity in knowledge grows. And then why it is like this? Obstacles. Slowly obstacles go away. Yeah. And those obstacles include even Dehat Buddhi also, and other obstacles also may be there. That's how I said grace. Because Bhagavan said in 10th chapter very clearly that I only give this knowledge. Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, etc. Bhagavan said very clearly. Means, give knowledge means basically the obstacles which are there on his path, I will take care of them. So that person will understand that I am Brahman, I am Ishvara, etc. And suppose if you are asking me why you chose this, suppose that kind of a question. Why? So where do you consider yourself to be on this life journey and why? Why you are on this path? Suppose if that is a question. Well, this is the thing we have to invest our life, our efforts. This is the only thing we want in our life. We may say, Swamiji, we want happiness, we don't want moksha. Thinking that they are different things. No, they are not different things. They are not different things at all. Happiness alone is nothing but a manifestation of yourself, which is a full self. Your fullness, whenever your fullness manifests, you are happy. Whenever you don't feel any kind of a limitation centered on you, you are happy. It could be a slapstick joke. You are feeling some limitation, physical limitation, intellectual, emotional, some limitation you are feeling. All the time you feel, in fact. That's called sorrow. Sorrow need not be a very positively or, the face becomes large, long. No. Sorrow is this. A general non-acceptance of the self continues. Because you see all the time yourself as a limited being. and you cannot accept yourself. When you go to sleep, well, you are relieved. No sense of limitation. Or else in a waking state, when a certain captivating moment comes, somebody cracks a joke, or when a child is lying here, or a mother enters with a child here inside, and child looks at us and start laughing, and you also start laughing, right? That time, well, the sense of limitation, etc., sense of smallness centered on you is dropped off. In deep sleep, already it is dropped off for a length of time. During waking state also, it is dropped off momentarily. Then your own nature, real self, a full self, manifest. That's called happiness. That's called happiness. Anyway, so but I am sure you are going to give me 100 marks, okay? So if I am pained and hurt by the bad actions of others, then is it wrong to react in anger? Is this immature? Anger is there are no two things in it. When you get angry, is a mature anger and immature anger. Anger reveals one thing, that we are hurt. Basically, what happens is person gets angry for small reasons also. Small reasons. We basically reject ourselves for small reasons. This is anger comes generally when you feel you are rejected. Like, I will give you an example. Suppose I expect a certain thing from you, and I talk to you and you say, well, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. Or certain change. You said, why are you speaking like this to my friends? You should have spoken like this. And you argue. I feel rejected. That immediately the sense of rejection centered on oneself comes out in the form of anger. I said that's how in the evening class, any type of pain, a general sense of displeasure is already there because of unfulfilled desires. And therefore, basically I am displeased with myself because I am feeling small. I am a limited being. And therefore, that manifests anytime. A sense of frustration is there, sense of rejection is there, and that manifests in the form of anger. So it is immaturity only. It's immature. There is no mature anger. Yeah, you can show anger, that's another thing. People show anger. But even others also understand that he is really showing. Even child knows. Sometimes father gets angry, but he is really not getting angry, but he is showing anger. The child laughs. It comes near. When you are really angry, it runs away. When you are showing an anger, means you are not really angry, then child comes near with a laughter. So anyway, I feel if a person is giving you too much of pain or making you hurt again and again, to create a physical distance is most important. Physical distance. And if it is somebody, but I cannot go away from the person and I am constantly being there, divorce also is a good. Getting this in this society, there is no way that you can live with this. Honestly. Yeah. One should live in a different space. I would advise that. Not getting constantly hurt. Because no one can grow what we are talking about, emotional maturity. It's for dog. No one can grow immediately overnight. It takes years, in fact. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschit mam vetti tattvataha. That first line applies to this emotional maturity. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. That siddhi is emotional maturity. In the 18th chapter, Bhagavan has used word siddhi for this type of things. Emotional maturity. Siddhi, Bhagavan says, success. Itself is a great success. But it takes time. And therefore, today you listen and talk, and tomorrow, well, you will be able to adjust with everything. I don't think so. No. Let's be honest about it. And then definitely hurting yourself too much. Because people have a certain angularity that, all kinds of psychological issues. Then it is better to create a physical distance. That's fine. Yeah. Why some past life karmas done fructify? Why some past life karmas done fructify until next life? I didn't follow. Can the person, who has asked this question can...
Sometimes, you see the results next life, right? Past karmas, like part of the karma. So they carry it over for next life.
Next life, current life.
Why at the next life? You can complete the same life, right?
Yeah, yes. So past life karmas, basically, past life karmas means how many? Because past lives, we have to say, it's a beginningless. Jiva is beginningless. So that door is beginningless. So karmas have been done, of course, in a human life, of course. But then beginningless means I might have got number of times the human birth. Then I might have done so many karmas. Karmas are also beginningless and therefore, and also infinite karmas may be there. So to exhaust all karmas in past life and therefore in this janma, the janma would not be there then in that case. That kind of a thing is not there. It's not there. Karmas are so many. Nobody knows. It's all part of the Karana Sharira. And therefore, and Karana Sharira is unmanifest. So, which is it's a bank. Karana Sharira is a bank of all your Sanchita Karma and all the impressions, vasanas of all janmas, not just Manusya Janma, all janmas. That's how a monkey, when it is born, it immediately knows how to take, where to take a food. And suppose a mother is jumping, she immediately, the child, the baby, immediately gets attached to the body, etc. Who has taught? She has not taken any classes. The mother has not taken nothing. Nothing has been taught. Then how do you know? How that Jiva knows? So means we had impressions of all the janmas, all born, residing in that body, we had an impression. And therefore it's a storehouse. Karana Sharira is a storehouse for so many janmas, so many karmas, so many vasanas. A lot of that gives rise to karma, some lot, give rise to this birth. And accordingly, the vasanas also manifest. Yeah. If it is a human birth, certain vasanas manifest. So, vasanas are nothing but the impressions. Right? They are all stored.
You also say that the karmas are exhausted when the death happens, right?
No, karma is exhausted, prarabdha karma exhausted, death happens, that's true. But from a sanchita again, new lot comes, I am saying. And the sanchita can never get exhausted. Like suppose we have done in this life, a human life, we have done some karmas. So that karma, the prarabdha karma will be over, the karmas which have been done now, today, in this life, let's say agami karma, which is done, that will go to the sanchita. So this is how sanchita will never get exhausted. And how many karmas we do, my God, in a single day itself, right? Many karmas we do, mentally, physically, verbally. So many things we do. Therefore, we keep on generating new karmas. And all you don't exhaust in this life. So that those karmas will be joining to the sanchita and the karma sharira. So this is how to deal boredom after retirement. Yeah. No, that's a nice question. But thinking that we people, especially the people who are on this path, spiritual pursuit, they hardly have a time. Even after retirement, they hardly have a time. Because as I told you, on one side, person has a certain prayer, etc. Let's say religious life in order to earn some grace, and then there are, there is lot to listen to, talks of our swamis, etc. And all that things are there. So our people, especially who are in this pursuit of moksha, they don't find time. They have less boredom. The other people, well, they will have more boredom. That's their question. I cannot solve because. But boredom reveals one thing, that one is displeased with oneself. Yeah. Thank God, Bhagavan gives a moment of joy here and there. That's how we are surviving. If that moment of joy also is not promised in the future, person commits suicide. You and me, live a life that thinking that there will be some, in future there will be some moments of joy. In my life there will be joy at least. Basically, I am displeased with myself. And easy taste is sit with yourself, closing the doors, not even keeping mobile. Don't keep mobile also. No books. And you will realize that how bored you are with yourself. We feel that we are bored with the others, but it's not true. But even Ishvara comes and tell you, you will tell him that okay, we have met for 3 days. I have kept a room ready for you. Go and take rest and let me also take rest. If you want a space even from the Ishvara, I tell you. Most sought, gained, most wanted, or what you say, hit up music albums. Why we call this music album is hit? Because it has, it has hit all the other albums from the market. So these have become hit. But itself got hit within no time. One person can get bored with anybody, anything. Not a single thing in life. Can you show me a single thing whose company you or association you want 24/7, 365 and number of years? Show me. Nothing. Bored with everything. When you are bored with everything, perhaps you are boredom. Not things are bored. Yeah, simple. Like a child, he is crying. Mother gives one toy. So for a moment it stops crying, then throws that and again starts crying. So she gives another toy. The child stops crying for a moment. And then again it throws and starts crying. This is our situation. So giving toys, etc. is not a solution. The child has some other issue. Because of that it is crying, right? Because of maybe pain in the stomach or something. So this is basic issue is with oneself. Problem is oneself. And solution also is oneself. Yeah. That's how it is. Your understanding about yourself is a solution. If you don't understand yourself properly, you yourself are a problem. Boredom. As I reflect on my life, likes, dislikes, including binding at times, have helped me achieve career goals. I'm sure I would not have without those difficulties, challenges I went through. Fine. Well, we say, it's nice. We would, this binding likes and dislikes, I would call it now ambition. But yes, being binding, definitely there is all possibility that you binding means they wanted, you are bound to fulfill them. Without that, they will keep on haunting you. Then in that case, you are likely to use a wrong means in order to fulfill. That's all possibility. That's one. And being a binding desire, until you full, it will keep you worrying, anxious, everything. And fearful also. It will make you angry at several times until you reach. Something even becomes a possibility of as an obstacle for fulfilling your likes and dislikes. Immediately there will be anger also. That's there. Binding likes and dislikes keeps you anxiety, with anxiety, worry, fear, this thing will not go. Non-binding desires, you don't have this kind of issues. Right? Non-binding desires will not have these issues. But Swamiji, somebody asked me while I was going, he said, Swamiji, but you said likes and dislikes, etc., or desires, binding desires are all the problems, etc.
Yeah.
But what can we do? Because ultimately you define likes and dislikes means in presence of which you feel more joy, more secure. Therefore, desires basically are a source of joy. Fulfilled desire means if I fulfill this binding likes and dislikes, means the desire I fulfill, I will get a joy. But fulfillment of desire is not a source of joy. Fulfillment of desire is not a source of joy. It's your wrong understanding. If fulfillment of joy only brings joy, fulfillment of desire only brings joy, means if your desires are unfulfilled, and many of them are unfulfilled, in your life there should not be a moment of joy. Because there are many unfulfilled desires, I told you. Unfulfilled desires are plenty. That's how you are displeased with yourself, frustrated with yourself. Unfulfilled desires outnumber fulfilled desires. How many desires? Starting from I want this person to be different. This also want desire. We think desire is all material thing. Need not be. Need not be. But this is a desire. I want the other person to be different from what he is or she is. It's only a desire. And that creates tremendous pressure. All quarrels and conflicts arise from this between two people. They can't stand each other. Just can't stand. We think desire is all material things. No. This is also desire. How many are there? Unfulfilled desire. Plenty. Then in that case, you should not have even a moment of joy. You should be all the time sad, morning to evening, waiting for fulfillment of desire in order to get happiness. That day never comes, because every day you find that there are new desires cropping up, right? New desires are cropping up. It's like a flow chart of that our flights. Some of the flights are in the process of departing. Some of the flights are in the process of arriving. Right? And some of the flights are already departed. So the flights which are departed, which are in the process of departing, and few flights are arriving, I always feel that this chart is going to be empty now after 2-3 hours, because that never happened. It all comes from below. Keeps coming. The chart on the airports regarding the flight details and all always remain full. Always. So, please understand this. Fulfillment of desire brings happiness is a wrong concept. You have fulfilled certain desires. After that, you are repenting that I should not have desired. Shall I give you example? Yeah. I don't want to give much, you may feel hurt. But let me give another example for this. That fulfillment of desire need not bring joy. I bought a mobile, particular iPhone, particular model, which I was desiring. This is just a story. Yeah. We make stories, telling lies, Talking about yama, niyama, etc., that you should always speak truth, etc., and all that, but we speak all lies. I bought it, and I was waiting since 1 year, and I got that particular model, etc. Very next day, Apple has brought another mobile. Cheaper than that, more facilities, etc. I have fulfilled my desire. Has brought happiness or unhappiness? In fact, whenever I see my mobile, I used to get many things in your life you desired badly. You got it, and then now you're thinking, I should not have desired it. I don't want to go. I have example ready, but I don't want to go. Honestly, some people are smiling, and I know why they are smiling. Fulfillment of desire brings happiness. This is Puja Swami's logic. It's a striking logic. Because we want to teach Vedanta, where fulfillment of joy is not a source of happiness. Source of happiness is somewhere else. How will you prove it? The whole world says, you fulfill desire and become happy. We should forget that. Unfulfilled desires, you are laughing, all of you. How many your unfulfilled desire I have fulfilled at this moment? Please tell me. Not a single, right? Not a single. Then you should not have a joy, but you have a joy. And there must be some other source. There must be some other source.
What is that source?
Source, you know, you are Vedanta. Atma, what is the source of that? Can you please define and give it? Okay. So, this binding desires, etc. will continue. So far as you don't cross boundaries. Difference between ambition and this we call, what is that? Yeah. So ambition basically means this particular desire you want to fulfill. Then, ambition and greed. Yeah, that's, I forgot for a moment. The difference between ambition and greed is this. Greed also means a desire. Strong desire. Ambition also can be taken as a strong desire to achieve something. The difference between these two is this. To fulfill ambition, you don't cross the right means. I give you an example. The one person is having one corporation and he wants to buy another corporation. Ambition. It's ambition. And in order to acquire another corporation, if he doesn't goes against the universal value structure, etc., dharma, etc., then we call it that he has ambition. But if he goes against dharma in order to fulfill that desire, then it is called greed. And that greed could be even with the beggar also. One beggar has a aluminum bowl and he finds other beggar has a stainless steel bowl. And this person he has an ambition of having a steel bowl, right? And beggars generally sleep on the railway platforms. Different, the seats. And so this person has thought that when the other beggar sleeps, I will steal his steel bowl. I will steal his steel bowl. So his ambition is to to have a steel bowl. For that purpose, there is so much pressure that he goes against that dharma, etc., and steals from the other person. Was having. When he got up in the morning, he found two things are absent. The beggar is absent and the bowl also is absent. So this is called greed. This is greed. So one wants to buy corporation, other corporation acquire another corporation, or one wants to have another steel bowl. Both have ambition. It turns into greed when they go against dharma because of the pressure, etc. So ambition you can keep, even a binding desire you have, Anyone who is asking that I have binding desire, I have done progress, etc., fine. As long as if you don't go against dharma. But likely to be, because binding desire creates a lot of issues in the mind, anxiety and other things, worries and everything. It's not that easy. Yeah. Can you please define and give example of binding desire and non-binding desire? Anything you can take it. In your life itself, you have a certain desires which you may fulfill, you may not fulfill, still you will be comfortable. You can see in your life. I do not have to give. And certain binding desires also there where you feel that no, in order to be comfortable with myself, I want to fulfill this desire. Both the types of objects are there. Objects of desire, both the types, and everyone's life they are there. For certain objects, you are not that, insisting that I really want to fulfill. Certain objects you want to fulfill, or certain objects you don't want to fulfill, still you are comfortable. So, given the political situations today, how can one distinguish between whether a situation is adharmic versus whether you have a dvesha for that situation? Now, adharma, etc., dvesha to the situation is dvesha to the adharma, that is fine. Dvesha, you dislike adharma, you dislike a wrong path, that is good. That keeps you on the right path. So you should have a dvesha, dislike for wrong things, non-ethical things. And and you should have a liking for dharma. Yeah. So that is required. That's required. That keeps you on the right path. If you like to follow the ethical structures, it's fine. You are spontaneous. You have to follow ethical structure and you like it to follow. There is a spontaneity, but generally it is not so. Generally it is not so. What you like to do is what you are not supposed to do. And what you dislike, that is perhaps a thing to be done. You don't like to get up early in the morning, but you are supposed to get up. Suppose. I'm a student of Vedanta and all this, and I have to do meditation every morning. And Swami said you have to do early morning meditation. And and as you hear the alarm, what is happening? Just think, wow, nice. This is what I wanted. It is telling me that you go now. There's a conflict. You like to be in bed. That is what your liking is. But you are supposed to get it. What is supposed to be done? Dharma. What you like, you rather clash. Most of the things, if that is not the thing, you are Siddha Purusha. Really. Siddha Purusha. Bhagavan would not have described Karma Yoga and all that which we will be discussing. Would not have given. What you like and what you are supposed to do is one thing. Wow. Amazing. What you dislike, and that is exactly what you are not supposed to do. Wow. What is this wow? Is also okay. So that's not the case. That's not the case. But Swami, one thing is there. There is a conflict. And because you have a value, everybody is born with this value structure. It's a manifestation of Ishvara, and therefore it is at the samashti level. Otherwise, it has to be taught. The dharma, etc., has to be taught to the person. In that case, some people will definitely, express their ignorance that we don't know what is right and wrong. Like in a case of traffic laws, sometimes person can, when he is caught by cops, well, he can say, I don't know a particular law. Of course, they are not going to listen, but I am saying, they say when we have given you license, before that you have given exam and everything, and you are supposed to know all the laws. So no one can plead ignorance for the dharma because it is right manifested in your buddhi. It is there, sitting. When you make a choice, immediately it comes. Of course, under the pressure of raga dvesha, you don't go what is right and wrong. You always go by what you like or dislike. But it is all that manifests immediately. So dharma is a manifestation of Ishvara, samashti, present in everyone. And therefore, so dvesha for adharma, etc. is good. It's good. And regarding political system, I don't want to discuss. That's not a forum to discuss here. Who is doing what? In fact, I'm totally ignorant about political systems and etc. And that when I don't know even political system in India, then much less I know about here. So that's not the criteria regarding that. But yes, dvesha for adharma is goal. Yeah. Raga for dharma is a goal. He is called dharmika who has raga for dharma. That is called dharmika. A religious person definitely has a liking for this, for the right things. Right? Sometimes emotional maturity of someone is mistaken as someone being weak, and other family members can continue to create problems and chaos. How long should emotional maturity be practiced? Emotional maturity is not to be practiced. One has to become mature for one's own benefit. So you are becoming emotionally mature not for the sake of others, obliging others. Look at that, I am not getting angry, okay? Look at that, I am accommodating you, okay? Nothing is for, when you come to Vedanta, all that is talked about self. That self could be this person, or the self could be the Sachidananda. We talk about this. What we talk right now is the first phase of Vedanta, where the self is, this individual has to become emotionally mature. He is not mature. If he really wants a freedom, he wants to fulfill the goal, which every human being in fact wants, the freedom, etc., then definitely you are qualified. You have become prepared for this. And that is maturity. In fact, emotional maturity itself brings a lot of joy. Because you enjoy certain freedom. When you are not under the hold of raga, dvesha, etc., you enjoy. Your raga, dvesha only brings all anxiety and fear. We discuss all this. And therefore, it's not a sign of a weakness, etc. It's a sign of, if you accommodate a person or if you don't get angry, it shows that you are, anger is a sign of a weak mind. Anger is a sign of a weak mind. Because you are not able to handle the situation. When you are not able to handle the situation, it manifests in the form of anger. Yeah. So, not having reactions, etc. in the mind, making mind free from these reactions, making your mind stronger. Yeah. Reactions indicate the mind is unhealthy. Sick mind. S-I-C-K. Sick. Literally. See, any sickness in the body comes, you immediately, the body wants to get rid of it. In mind, anger, jealous, etc. comes, mind wants to throw it out. Or the person, mind means the person wants to throw it out. Immediately. That shows that condition of the mind is not a healthy mind. It's an unhealthy mind. Simple. Sick mind. Weak mind. Sick person is a weak person. That's it is. These are the answers, okay? So you mentioned cow giving milk to cowman is not punya karma, is no free will involved. If someone is forced by someone to commit crime and the person has no choice, forced, will that person be considered crime as is against will? So if someone is forced by someone to commit crime, and the person has no choice but forced, will that person be considered crime as is against will? Well, so far as the other person who is, means the person who is forced by someone to do some crime, to do something wrong, I would say we should not succumb to that. We should not succumb. Try to make the person understand that I cannot do. If I can help you in any other way, I can help, but this kind of thing I cannot do. With all respect to you, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. You should tell it. Otherwise, well, if you say, no, I'm forced to do and I have to do this, then I also have a certain agenda. It's pleasing the person. You want to fulfill your certain wish, etc. That also may be possible. Right? Could you follow what I'm saying? If you are forced to do something wrong and you follow that, means you obey that, means you may also have a certain X to grind with the person. Maybe you are an employee. An employer, sometimes they do that, keep this extra money in your home. I cannot give because it will be. So let us distribute some money unaccounted. Should I, Swamiji, obey this kind of thing or not? I should not obey, but then my job will go. So try to explain the person that this is a thing, and you feel that if my job goes away and I am not in a position to get another thing, then do it. What can we do? I have family, Swamiji, I will lose the job immediately, I may not get the job, this, that, etc. I am not having that strength to stand it when the job goes away, then definitely you are forced to do. What can we say? But so far as if you have a value for the right thing, right path, then try to explain the person and you can tell if these things you can give it to someone else, etc. You should tell. I would say that way. But mostly when we say like this, they say, Swamiji, it is not easy. You are jobless and you don't want a job. we listen all this. The Swamis, they sit on the other side of the table and they talk. They should be on our side, then they will realize. True. It all depends upon person, I tell you. What is your threshold against other? What is your threshold? That is important. If my threshold is not enough, then actually I am quite weak. Then compromise, what can we say? But at least have a resolve that I want to basically become stronger, and which is the only right path, etc. And then try to follow that. If it is really, it is a danger to your. If you are forced to do the wrong thing, and if you don't do it, and it will cost your own job, etc. And losing that, you will be really in trouble. Then do it. What can we say? That's only way. How many marks you are giving?
Extra.
Okay. So 7:30 to 8:30. You have any question? I'm ready to answer. In fact, it's not that time is over, so. But if you have another question, yeah, please.
So you explained about gunas and likes and dislikes, all of that, right? So when you said all of that, to balance ourselves or to center ourselves, what is it? What is the tools that we can use and center, bring ourselves into balance?
Gunas and
Likes and dislikes, and you also said about the varnas and everything, right? So keeping those things in mind, I just want to understand how can we achieve, maybe not to the full level, to the whole, whatever you explained.
yes. So this kind of question I also asked to our Guruji, and he said, forget about everything. Do the best in a given situation. One answer. Do the best in a given situation. Forget about varna and ashrama and likes and dislikes. Do the best. Anywhere, in any setup, Well, whenever you are a part of the setup, any setup, it could be family, it could be here also. Right now you're here, you're part of this setup. Do the best in a setup. And you will have an ample opportunity to do the best. Even as a sadhaka. That's it. All whatever I have discussed is in this one line. Doing best. In every situation, in every setup. And you start thinking, you will find that this thing, doing best, means not in terms of just skills, etc. Doing best means your karma basically gives the benefit. As a karma phala will give benefit to more than yourself. Suppose what you do today will give a benefit to the one person. Instead, the same karma, suppose, can be helpful, give a benefit to 5 people, then definitely that is best. Could you follow what I am saying? So as you think about this, you will find that that is a solution for all this, what we discussed. That's a balance actually. Balance. Doing best when you start doing it, then you find that you have to keep aside your likes and dislikes and everything you want, you have to keep aside. So that way, there's one answer for this. Any other question? Yes?
She mentioned about grace. Grace is such a blessing. So, does Punya Karma brings grace alone, or there's something more to grace that can be done?
Punya Karma. Punya Karma only. See, the karma which we call Sakama Karma, the karma which you are doing to get a desired result, and then you are following a right, even though you are following obstacle, definitely ward of obstacles so that you can get a desired result in future, right? Well, you do a certain special karma which generates punya and which wards off obstacles, and that too I told you 2 types of karma: prayer and reaching out, etc., helping others, contributing. So we have to do what we have, in keeping with our desires, we have to do karma, following dharma, etc. But in order to get a desired result, keep doing prayers and other things together, parallelly, so that the obstacles will be warded off and you will be able to get what you desire. That's how we gave an example of a Arjuna. He wanted victory. He follows a right means, of course, but still he called Krishna grace in order to get the victory, the desired result. Do you follow? So that's how it should be. So earning grace is through special karma, not through your sakam karma, but prayer is also karma, I told you yesterday, and some karma which is by which you contribute. Say yajna we call sometimes, contributing, to the society, etc.
So good karma plus the special karma together will be good.
Absolutely, yeah. Good karma means following dharma.
Yes.
It's a sakam karma, but you are following dharma. But in order to get desired results, you have to take into account that 7th factor also. Yeah. That's what people call it luck, etc. Okay? Yeah.
So, sometimes we see like a kid might have health issue, but they might be good in other things like good in studies and all. So that means certain karma is in effect, right? So in that case, what should they do?
Generally, prayashita karma, the person can consult a priest, etc. Many priests, they have studied Veda and everything. And they know for a particular type of an obstacle, karma, which is an obstacle because of which he has certain deficiency or she has deficiency. Then prayashita, etc. is there. Yeah. So they know. So general prayashita is a Rudrabhishekam, etc. they say. But it's very effective. But a very specific type of prayashitas are also there, which can take care of that obstacle. which is due to karma, of course. We call it Durit karma, has brought this kind of a situation, will get go away. Yeah. Over. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo